Welcome to the Will Is podcast once again, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. This is the Disrespectful Elders Show. What do I mean? How can elders be disrespectful? Man, let me put on something because I'm gonna have to slow down because I'm already moving too fast with y'all. I already know I gotta chill out a little bit. So we are talking about elders, so we're gonna keep it G, but we're gonna have to. I gotta simmer down. After that shit. I think that's a little better. It feels more slower so that I can talk without being so aggressive. But let me explain something, you guys, that happened to me this weekend. This very weekend, I was celebrating one of my very good friends, call him Unc. You know what I'm saying? Very good person to me. Thorough, been in my life a very long time, since I was about 26 years old. Cool cat. We used to work together back in the day. Very thorough, strong mind still to this day. I appreciate this man because he's a hell of a fundamentalist when it comes to being a right-minded elder thoroughly within in how we even connect. But he has a special ability that most elders don't have. Most elders most elders want to always reign supreme. Most of them don't want to teach you. They want to always have something in their bag for the bad young man. They some of them are very sadistic. Not my partner, but I'm talking about behaviors that all people in that specific age group, they don't share the same likeness. They don't share the same unique way of understanding the younger generation. See, I don't want to make that mistake. Boy. Oh, boy. I do not want to make that mistake. When you got the younger generation out here, they look to us as, that's Unc, man. That cat, he done been through something. He experienced some things. So I expect to learn something from my elder. I expect to learn something from, like the young cats that say, the OGs should have something to teach me. I shouldn't be outmaneuvering the OGs. I shouldn't be out here, like thumping up Unc upside the head like he don't know something. You know what I'm saying? What we look like? But see, that's why we're talking about, the disrespectful elders. Legacy can only transcend if the elders are never forgetting to nurture the young. And once upon a time in the black community, they was talking about when you 18 years old, you got to get the hell out of my house and get it for yourself. I understand that for a boy, but for a girl, you're feeding your daughters to the streets if you do that, if you're a man or woman. One thing, if you are close in age with your children, y'all can still learn together. Y'all younger parents may have to practice a little bit more humility with that child of yours, because that may be your best friend. That may be the person that'll get you through it when you ain't never found no way, because they love you just like you love them. It's called being symbiotic, never giving up on each other, always trying to find a better way, the right way. See, a lot of us don't understand love, let alone parenting. You understand what I'm saying? Parenting is being able to be the most humiliated at any given time, regardless of the circumstances, because that's your wonderful child, man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Being a father is the greatest accomplishment of my life because it showed me who I was for real. It took me to the past, having a daughter. Let me know everything you was doing and how you was moving. I may not have been a liar, but I was very ferocious. And I didn't give a damn either. I had shut off valves. Because when I get sick of your ass, I shut you off. But, man, I tell you, to any female that I have ever wronged, man, I'm telling you, I apologize to you. I've grown up. I've discovered. I've lived. I've matured. I've evolved. Don't judge me for my past, and I won't judge you for yours. I'm a married man, happily. But even if I wasn't happily married, you know what that means? You stick to it because you know who you married and you know you love that person. And when you get to those brighter, better days, rejoice, because everything ain't about happiness right now. Sometimes you got to push to those places where you can get to where you want to be. As a team, as a unit. Those are the happiest times. And when you done been through so much together, you know one thing that matters? You got each other. You got family. You got people that love you. So those are your champions. Don't ever look for no elder that can be in a position to teach you something and refuse to because they want an edge on you. That's a sick, old mindset that needs to dissipate. It doesn't need to be around no more. It's against moral code because you want to conduct yourself as a forever chastiser. Man, you don't get your old ass out my face, man. I look past your old ass. You ain't the guy for me, homie. I move right past people like that. They are no good. They perpetuate ignorance. Their mindset is twisted, altered, and unforbade. They want to always be in a position to say, you need to listen to me, young blood. They don't never want to say, young blood, what you got to say, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. Come on now, let's talk. You know something. I will be grateful to hear what has to come into fruition. That's exciting. Young man knows something. He's very, very articulate and talented and knows how to get that message across, and you want to run him into the dirt. You want to fire him. You want to treat him like he ain't nobody. You want to throw him away. That's the problem with old folks. Some, not all. They like throwing people away. It wasn't because you was thrown away. You act like people that look like you ain't have to fight as hard as you had to fight and ain't got to have the same old dumbass mindset your old ass got. Man, ain't nobody got to be like you. A forever forbader of foolishness. A fearmonger. Man, let me tell y'all something about old folks. Old black folks got the best, most white friends in the world. You know why? Because they get along with each other. They got the same old mindset. Cruel. Think you gotta go through them. That's why they hate technology. That's why they hate all this stuff like this. That we say, hey man, I got nieces and nephews and shit like that. Hey, y'all teach me how to get in. Hey, yo, you still cool though, bro? Like you get out there, man. You'll be straight because people gonna dig what you gotta say. So this for my youngins. This for my 35 and below. I'll be 45 this year, man. This for my 35 and below. Folks my age, we already know what we trying to tell them, man. Like, look, Oh man, take care of yourself, save some money. Your energy may run out. You know what I'm saying? You may feel when you get 40, you may feel like, whoa, man, I done had a run. So y'all girls need to protect that little pink taco. Y'all guys, yeah, hey, I'm trying to tell y'all how to keep y'all libido up, man. Every woman don't deserve your little tallywhacker. You know what I'm saying? It'll fall off. Because some of these women, they you gotta understand, these young ladies, they were never taught how to, for one, bathe properly. You ain't either, nigga. Ain't nobody never told you how to skin your nuts back and clean your Twizzler. Clean everything. You don't want no streaks. And when you wipe your butt, when you wipe your backside, you might want to have some baby wipes. Get the crud out. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody never taught y'all hygiene properly. That's all I'm saying, man. All this goes back to how you were raised. And some old folks were raised like some evil bastards. They were. They refuse to renew to grow up. They say it's my way. Oh, you gotta order highway. I beat your ass. Hey, there's some cruel old bastards, man. There's some old folks out there just ain't no damn good. But we do have some wonderful elders. It's just that they sometimes when you get older and you don't know how to pivot. I'm gonna double cup of water today. I'll keep me 2 cups of water. I drink one, I drink the other one. Let me know I'm doing my thing. So check this out though, man. Oh. Hey y'all, we got a guest appearance tonight. This is Dr. Dixon calling me, man. I'm giving a show about disrespectful elders and how they how they always never seem to find a way to give us that good information that we need, but we have to get scolded first. And sometimes they have a terrible approach of dealing with us, but that's some, but not all. Once again, you're live on the show right now. So since you're calling in, I would love to hear your partake in why certain bitter elders are so annoyed by the new mentality of the newfound essence of the mindset that's taking place today. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Good evening, brother. I give it a perspective there. Yeah, I give my perspective.
Sure.
I think when we go and we're raised a certain way and it becomes ingrained in us, right? We don't know any other way. And so anything that pushes back on that, right, is not just attack on that mindset, but it's a personal attack to some people as well, because you are attacking their person and who they were raised to be, in a part that is now ingrained as their character, right?
Absolutely.
And so some elders don't, I don't necessarily think that they're bad people. It's just that they have been trained and raised a certain way, and they've lived their life, and especially if we're talking over 60 years, 65 years, then they just don't know any other way and mode of communication other than the way that has always been brought to them. And I'll give you a good example, right?
Sure.
My father was raised in the country, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the country, in Georgia.
Yeah.
In Baldwin County, outside of Millersville. And just a quick explanation of how, or just a quick example of what type of raise and how it was ingrained in him, right? He said one day when he was young, my grandmother told him to go under the house and get one of the chickens for dinner, right?
Uh-huh.
And she pointed the chicken out and said, bring that chicken. And he went and he tried to get that chicken, and that chicken ran further in the house, so he just grabbed the closest one and he brought it in. And my grandmother took one look at the chicken and said, "That's not the chicken I said." Ooh. She knew just like that wasn't the chicken she pointed out. You see. Yeah. And so without any hesitation, without anything, he turned right back around, went out there, and went all the way under the house and got the chicken she said. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And so that's how he was taught. You don't question, you don't ask what difference does it make, you don't any of that. And so hard work was always my father's mantra, right?
I get that. I get the hard work part. Yes, sir.
And so I always felt growing up, he raised me like it was still the 1940s. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got granddaddies that was like that, but they were nice because I was their grandson, so I didn't get the same type of. It wasn't the same type of scolding. Like even with my dad, with my granddaddy, my great granddaddy Will Laster, his granddaddy. What you're describing to me is what my father. He's 74 years old. That's what he went through. Will Laster used to call him Little Sam Boy. You know what I'm saying? He was rough, but he loved them now, because he was taking fishing, knew all the canals, all the pathways, because they're Indians. So he knew how to get him everywhere. He was a good grandfather, but he was lawless. He didn't care about no police. He didn't care about nobody. Nobody.
And so my point is, right?
Yeah.
That was how I was raised too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't question. They say it, your elders say it, you do it. Your elders say it, you do it, right?
Yeah.
But then, what we have now, right, is this time where so much more information is out there and provided to our children and to the younger generations, right?
Absolutely. That's
that true. We encourage them to question things. But that other generation, right, that was always raised never to question, right, yeah, doesn't always accept that. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they're being mean or just straight disrespectful. It's just that they have been, and both male and female, yeah, right?
Yeah.
70-something, 80 years old now.
My grandmama, Willie Mae Smith, she ain't evil or disrespectful, but she 84, but I'm telling you, this lady, you don't want it with her.
Right, and you got to remember, they also, even as young adults,
yes, they were rough.
They were at jobs,
yeah,
where you could do something, not even intentionally.
Mm-hmm. That's serious.
And that white person will get you in trouble or get you fired, and now you got to figure out how to feed your family.
And that's too.
And so they were taught, and ingrained to bite your tongue and don't question or don't say a word, because it went from the household to out there in the world at that job too.
So let's talk about the sacrifices that they had to make and how much psychological damage that did to them. But it was provide for your family or speak out and go hungry.
Exactly. But I do want to say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this. And it may be off tangent a little bit. Or it may just be looking at it from the flip side, right?
Sure. I mean, that's what it's for. That's what it's for.
What I don't think young people understand and get.
Get at them, man. Get them. Come on.
The respect is at levels. Now, they'll quickly tell you it's levels to this thing, and it's levels to that. Well, it's levels to respect as well, right?
Absolutely, I agree.
And so you have a basic amount and modicum of respect from human being to human being, period.
Period.
Right?
I got you.
But I try to get them to understand this more respect for elders. And I explain it to them this way, right? I say, okay, let's say you're at a job. You've been on that job for 3 going on 4 years now. You hadn't had any problems.
Right.
Right? Nothing minor, but you know, other than that, you get your raises and everything else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You go to lunch and you see Brother Henry, Mr. Henry, who been there 15 years at this particular spot, but when he started out, he was at the other spot for 3 years. So he's been working for this company for 18 years.
That's right.
And so lunchtime is over. Mr. Henry right over there across the street, half a block down in the other restaurant. You see him, he see you. Y'all headed back to work. You headed to work, right?
All right.
Car accident. Car stalled. Whatever it is, back the traffic up. Y'all get to work 15 minutes late. Mr. Henry walk in there. They look at him. Mr. Henry say, traffic. Or he may not even say anything. They may not even ask him. You walk by. You understand you 15 minutes late? What happened? Rah. You just saw Mr. Henry walk by there. Mr. Henry got 18 years in. Mr. Henry is late. If Mr. is 15 minutes late, something happened. And I explain that to young people. It's the same thing. That elder person got 60, 70 years in life. Stop acting like you're supposed to have the same amount of respect. You're supposed to have a basis, but it's not the same. And so the problem is, to me, is that it starts real young. When we buy our children the same clothes that we have. We
treating them on the same level.
We let them, when we go in the restaurant, we let them order the same stuff we order.
You ain't supposed to do that.
So that by the time they are teenagers.
You don't even know what a kid meal is.
Late teenagers. No, they're already considering themselves your equal.
And I can't have that.
Because they've worn the same clothes. They eat the same food. They mimic the same behavior. Right? So they think they are your equal.
And I covered that, didn't I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? Go ahead.
And then you get mad because they start acting like it. but the bottom line is, you groom them to that.
You sure did.
You know, I'll never forget with my oldest son, right? We were in Subway. He was only like maybe 9 and 11 years old.
Yeah.
I ordered my sub. I ordered his mama her sub. He wanted the same one. And I said, no, get over there. And he said, why can't I have? I was like, A, because you may not even eat all of that.
For real.
But B, you can't have everything adults have. And I was like, you certainly can't say everything your mama say.
Absolutely.
Because my ex-wife will tell you something at a heartbeat, you know?
Straight up.
I was like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You are not an adult. You can't have everything adults have. And so the brothers, it was a couple of brothers behind me.
Mm-hmm.
They all chimed in. They were like, "He right, little bro," you know.
Yeah.
Because it does take that village. It took that reinforcement too. It wasn't just daddy telling him, you know.
That's right.
They told him.
It was a village. It was a village, though.
You're right.
Yeah. And
You're
it was
right.
order.
You can't have everything your parents have.
That's right.
But see, parents are doing that.
But that's these new
They
parents
buy
now.
these
That's why.
Jordans every year. And
Yeah.
they think you're wrong if you don't. You know? And I'm like, no. When he get older, I may buy those. You know?
Yeah. They go too fast at that age, though. That's too much. That's a waste of money. That's not good logic, is all I'm saying. It's not good logic.
And it's not right. That's the theoretical part, right?
Yeah.
The practical part is he gonna outgrow him in a doggone hot 9 months.
Ooh.
If that.
Man.
So that's dumb.
The
practical part is dumb.
Stupid.
The practical part to
That's
buy
just dumb.
a 5-7-year-old designer shirts, designer pants, expensive jeans.
We just gotta. And let me add.
The practical part is dumb.
Let me add.
The theoretical
Yeah.
is even more damaging in the long run.
Let me add.
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No problem. Because everything you're saying is 1,000. Because check this out, man. See, that's where we got to understand how the older generation, like I'm 44. You know what I'm saying? You got me by a decade. But at the end of the day, we can transcend this knowledge down. But it takes being able to be receptive from both sides, though, because the thing is, these older generations, in some instances, they do have the stain for even people my age, going on 45 years old, and you're going to tell, man, come on. Now, my dad listens to me because we have a very wonderful relationship, and I know how to treat my elders. I was raised appropriately. I have a wonderful relationship with my mother and my father. My mother and my father, we all talk every day. I got a wonderful relationship with my sisters, of course, my wife, my child. Everybody around me, I try to keep a very thorough, wonderful relationship. But let's be clear. Everything is not on the young people. Look at the movies like Precious. Look at how some despicable parents have treated their children.
Right.
And why weren't they treated anything? Because there's another side to that specific generation that that has to be talked about. Because if you don't talk about it from the root or how it got that way, then that leaves them off the hook without being accountable. And the older generation needs to hear how to pivot past these points because they can teach too. Look at Al Sharpton. There's no way he should be 70, 80 years old and doesn't have mentees bringing him up in those positions to talk to the younger generation, but he won it all for himself.
Yeah, of course. Well, see, that's the whole thing, right? You hit on it earlier, right? It's also part of that mentality, right?
Yeah.
It's part of that mentality that they want to earn, and their age in their mind has automatically earned them a level.
That's a fallacy.
Where it's because it becomes a fallacy when their leadership ability doesn't match it.
It dissipates, right? And when they're not.
Some of them never had it, right? Some of them never had it, like you said, because the precious example was great.
Yeah,
it wouldn't matter. That mother in Precious could be 60 years old.
Yeah,
but you never did anything to deserve all of the respect that you should have at 60 years old. And that's another thing, right? And I've heard that too, the psychology of, these children who are now, full adults, who had parents that were on drugs bad, right?
Yes. How about that?
When you force them to raise themselves, then there becomes a problem, right?
How many movies do we know?
I know someone personally, right?
Okay. I know quite a few.
Has done this. I'm not calling any names. I'm just saying I know them, so I can. This is a first-hand account.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
She's gone back and forth doing all of these stupid things and she's in her 50s now, and her daughter is in college now, and she wants to go back and forth with her daughter, telling her she's her mother and rah, rah, rah. But the daughter is like, you didn't raise me. Grandma raised me. Grandma got me to college. Grandma checked on me in college. You know? And so the pushback is real, right?
Absolutely.
Because she wants all of the respect of being her mother, but all of her, well, not all of it, but the vast majority of it is coming just from the fact that you birthed her, not raised her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can't have, she doesn't get it. She's not going to get all of that respect until you get to a point where your daughter, you know, you are an active person in your daughter's life and you are there for her. And now you don't have to be there to raise her because she's a young woman about to graduate from college. But you can still be there, you know, in terms of talking to her, sharing your day with her or whatever. Y'all build some type of relationship and rapport.
Absolutely.
But you got to start from there if you want the respect of being her mother. Because, like I said, she wants all of this respect simply because she gave birth to her. And these young people say that's not enough. You know?
And why is it not?
That's not enough.
And let me add to why it's not enough. Because simply, if you don't have the justification, the means, the tools, the wherewithal to be a parent, and you are a parent, and you mean to tell me the people in the community will look down? Tupac made a song about this. Brother got a baby, because that song was signifying how we grew up in, now it's projects, and there's no unit. There's no family culture. There's no village. The girl got so scared she put the baby in a trash can. You understand what I'm saying? So these are hard. We've known about these things. We understand these things. The elders have heard my pop. I put my pops on the Tupac at 13 years old. 12, 13 years old. I put my pops on the Tupac. And he was like, son, I ain't never heard no rap music like this before, man. Where man, this is the hottest artist I've ever heard. This is like my mentor. He was my idol at that time frame in life. But understand, he was talking about pivotal situations that were going on in 1992, 93, 91, 92, 93. And in specifics of those times, look at the era, Rodney King beatings. You see what I'm saying? We looking at it. Yeah. It's a movie out in 1992, man, and that's the real movie, L.A. riots. But look what was going on even before then. You know, we can't always talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. We talking about 1992. We was alive and young men. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It goes both ways. There has to be this mutual understanding, right?
Yes.
That you're not going to get this respect, this certain level, if you hadn't earned it as an adult, as an elder, and you're not going to, you shouldn't expect equal respect with an elder who has certainly earned it more.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a both sides got to understand that.
Absolutely.
You know, and like I said, you got the elders who want respect that hasn't shown any leadership or anything to earn it other than stay alive long enough. And then you got young people who, because they've been given everything, they expect everything, and now they see themselves as equal to everybody, and that ain't, you know, it's not
fathomable. It's not
valid.
no. It ain't. No.
It's not valid.
No, it ain't valid.
But the thing about it is they do know and understand it to a certain extent, because when they carry they behind to that job, They know that manager, that CEO, that vice president, that administrator. They know they not equal to them.
They sure do. They know that. But then when you come home, you think you get to turn all of that behavior off and get to come home and act like a fool? Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? I don't allow that in my house with a 7-year-old.
So it's both. It really is, brother.
I agree. I love this. This has been fruitful. Like the wonderful back and forth that we've given was like as we always do. It's always something just precious. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but this is just y'all, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Anthony Dixon. We just did he just did a pop up, y'all. It was I hope y'all enjoyed it because we're gonna get him Thursday back, y'all. He is so you see how
they
this
like it.
Go ahead.
Stay
Go.
with me and show up every Thursday when I'm scheduled to show. How about
Hey,
that?
give them your platforms. Give them all your social media. Tell them what we're trying to do. Plug. Get them.
Okay. My website is Prof. A.E. Dixon. I invite you to go there, see the type of work that I do, as well as I invite you to look at the books that I've written.
Yes, sir.
Just profaedixon.com/books. Professor Anthony E. Dixon at Prof. A.E. Dixon. Those are the two monikers that I use for social media. I invite you to listen more. Stay tuned. Join the conversation. And let's talk about these things. And let's look for viable solutions within our community.
Beautifully said. As always, y'all. I'm telling you, man. This man is the truth. He has found a great deal of arts in life. He has, as I say all the time, man. We just gonna keep cooking, man. We're not waiting on systems to let us know how to activate. We just do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Dr. Anthony Dixon. We will see him again on Thursday at 7 o'clock, somewhere between 7 and 8. Give him one more good quote for the night, brother. One more good quote.
Okay. For young people, I want to talk to the young people. In this day and time, you are living in the best time because you can make a career out of almost anything. So what that means is you should take advantage of every possible positive opportunity that comes your way until you create your niche for yourself. And remember, it still requires work, whatever it is.
Oh, man. Perfect. That was wonderful. Thursdays at between 7 and 8. We're going to get back at you, brother. Yeah, he coming back Thursday. I'll holler at you, brother. Good night. I'll call you back after the show. Call you back after the show. All right.
God bless.
Yeah.
One love.
All right, y'all. That's the great professor. He's going to be a steady on the show. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was that was so powerful, monsterful. Looking at two pugilists, go back and forth as far as understanding where we get to these solutions and how we get to these specific avenues of success. We got to build these bridges. We got to stop burning bridges and building them together. You dig? So, man, let me see. We're going about 40 minutes. I ain't gonna hold you. That was good food for all of y'all, everybody. We gotta do a better job. Elders, tighten up. I respect you. I love you. We wouldn't be here without you. But young fellas, young ladies, the middle ages like myself, we still the cool vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all learn how to connect different with these. Stop trying to bully, man. Elders, sometimes y'all get older, y'all want to bully young people, man. Stop the bully stuff, man. Learn how to connect. It ain't that hard. Jeez, y'all been around long enough. And young folks, man, hey, for real though, man, that older cat that you might be able to give him advice and don't bully him either because you can bully him because he's old, man. You might be able to help that old cat out and, you know what I'm saying, feed him, clothe him, give him, you know what I'm saying, give him a kind word to say, I see you, OG. I'm sorry you was down on your hard time, man. I'm sorry you been down, man. But I remember you when you know who you was, man. I think you can get back there, but I'm going to check on you, all right? I'm going to look out for you. That's how you solve homelessness. But you got to be careful with some people because some of them old bastards wicked, man, and some of them young folks wicked too. That's why they can't stay with their parents. That's why they can't stay. You know, some parents can't stay with their children because they terrible. All they do is cross them up. All they do is jug them. All they do is they lie to them. All they do is, you know, I'm so I have not witnessed this, but I've seen these things, and I see how many people are so scarred, man. We're trying to heal that. Let's break these chains, y'all. Let's break them globally. Let's break them in the community. Let's understand how to renew, rebuild, and restructure ourselves because it's necessary now. Now is the time. It's a good time to be alive. And once again, the will is. Hey, man, check it out. Like, share, subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe. You know you like it, man. The will is yours. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hope you enjoy.